can you remember your best performing campaign?
Yeah. So
And
our
so try to explain me how that funnel worked, right? How much reply rate did you get?
oh yes. Those details in numbers. So well, actually, let me check it out real quick right now because well, the latest campaign we've had was the best one. So the first campaign we've had, we maybe had like a 2% reply rate. Like it was really low because we were kind of confused as to how to do things and how it works. But now that we got into the flow, our latest percentage of like a reply rate was 7-8%.
7-8%. And what was the open rate?
And the open rate was wait, let me find it real quick here. The open rate, yeah, it was 60%.
60%. Got it. And all right, 7 to 8% replied. And how many of them were like, qualified leads, or however you sort of say that is a valid lead?
Yeah. So basically when we go on Apollo and we filter these huge lists of users, so we have like 50 emails a week approximately, right? Just to situate the context. We know they're all qualified because we look at each one of them to see if they actually need the app or not. And usually,
all right. So I meant something else. So basically, you had 7 to 8% reply rates, right? So I think often a reply doesn't really mean that he's going to be a converted customer. Like you have to do much more post that, right? So what's the funnel post that? Did you really convert any of them from your recent campaign? Do you have any numbers there?
Oh yeah, yes. So the latest campaign we did, so like this week that has passed, we've had one new user and one potential we're still talking to right now. So potentially it's you.
Two, right? That's like 3 to 4%, right? Because you sent around 50 mails or something the past week.
Yes.
Right. That's pretty great. All right. So let's talk a bit about this campaign, right? So it looks like you have some pretty good numbers, right? So talk to me about, you mentioned how you got your lead list, right? So what was unique about this campaign? Why are you getting such high reply rates? So what are you actually selling? So talk to me about that sequence.
Yes. So in our sequence, so I would show it, like screen share and stuff, but there's some confidential stuff which I cannot share. But in essence, the way we structure things, the first email, okay, on our subject line, what we want to do is just get replies, right? We don't really care about the detail of that. Just get replies. The email is very small. It has 4 parts, you just have the first line, which is personalized. It's always like either a compliment or a thing that shows that you know who you're talking to. It's not like fully automated. So we actually go on the website, always just check for unique stuff, things that interest us. And, just everyone has so much, like, I didn't realize how much a variety of e-commerce shops there were until I actually started doing this stuff. People do so many different interesting things. So you use this in the first line to really show that, there's a connection here. You went and looked for it and you're not like some sort of mindless robot. Okay. And it works really, really well. Like the first line is the line we work the most on. Like if you're doing cold emails, you want to focus the most on the beginning, like the subject, the first line, subject line, doesn't matter as much. But anyway, after this, we present our app with like a case study. So we go really quick. We say, hey, this shop that we've onboarded a couple of weeks ago has made 4K additional revenue with the app in a couple of weeks. We can do the same for you because, you're in the same sector. Do you want to get on call? That's it. Super, super quick.
And
that's the first email.
How many follow-ups do you have, if you have any?
Yeah. So when this email, after a day, we send the first follow-up. So the first one is another case study. So it's basically here, take a look at this other shop.
They made this much revenue in this much time.
Yes, it's a different one.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So it's mostly just to give them some variety, to make them understand that, hey, this shop that does perfumes, sells well, but you could have the same results in another thing with some other strategies. Point is to show them that it would work for them too, and that it works for other people. And if that one has no reply, we just send a ping. So the third email, second follow-up is very simple. It's just a, hey, have you seen this? Just bumping this up. Very, very simple, very quick. The follow-up after this is very simple also. And the last follow-up is a case study with a bit of urgency added to it. So, we give another case study or the same, just, remind them that there's this money, free money that you can make. You don't have to pay any additional stuff because it's all, post purchase. We address some objections. So, like I said, this post purchase money thing, we just give them a thing to get on a meeting with us. And then we tell them about the fact that we have a lot of shops in the pipeline that we can talk to. So let's go, maybe don't have as much time as we think. So we kind of play with the urgency a bit and that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting actually. So what you're essentially trying to sort of sell is basically that social proof, right? And have you experimented with anything else? Like, for example, I've seen people try to sort of maybe add some value somehow. I'm not sure how they do that in those emails, right? But it looks like you're really trying to sort of sell something straightforward with some real social proof using your case studies. So
exactly, that's
why is this working, and why isn't something else? Like, have you tried with anything else apart from this?
Yes. So we tried. So as I said, there's this case study thing with some social proof added to it to see that, hey, works for them, can work for you too. We've tried something more simple where you just describe, what the app does, just mechanisms like, hey, we do this and this and this. These are the worst emails. Like, I would never do this again. You just say what it does. It's fucking useless. Like, no one cares. No one cares what your app does. They only care what they can benefit from. Like, even in the case study, the way we phrase things is this shop made this much additional revenue. They don't care how. They just see that you make additional revenue, have a higher average order value, etc. Like, that's what they care about, the impact. So we tried the phrasing with just saying what the app doesn't work. We tried just saying that it could make your revenue higher. Like a sentence like, hey, this app usually makes 20% more revenue on your orders. Doesn't work. But the thing that works the most is to give them the benefit, like, hey, you can make this much money. Look at someone else who did the same, and this social proof, I feel like just grounds it into like a sense of truth, makes it much more concrete. I think it's why it works so well compared to the other stuff.
Got it. Thanks for watching the B2B SaaS Podcast channel. I believe that the best way of building SaaS companies is by regularly talking to real founders who are out there building their companies. These founders have gained tons of insights during their journey, and I'm here to bring those to you. So if you want more such stuff, please make sure to subscribe to the channel here.